This is your astrological forecast for Virgo in 2022. January through March. This astrology forecast is for those who have their sun in Virgo or a Virgo Ascendant, also known as the rising sign. In January, depending on the degree of your sun or rising sign, may prove to be a good year for you, but met with some challenges along the way. As a Virgo, your ruling planet is Mercury, which is about the mind and how you think. Your element and mode are mutable earth. This gives you the ability to put ideas into concrete form. A process of doing things or an order to the way things are done matter to you. Oftentimes, Virgos find themselves in fields of study that pertain to research or science. If you are a Virgo, you probably like an order to things. For example, things in your house probably have a particular and proper placement. Things must be in order, for disarray brings chaos to your mind, which affects your life. If your house is in order, it's a fair assessment that your mind is in order. Virgo is symbolized by the Virgin, who represents purity in thought, deed, and action. Being a mutable earth sign, you may like creating things with your hands or physically working to create or build something. This allows you to exercise your mind by using your practical ability to see something in your mind and then manifest it. You have the ability to analyze and correct things in order to make them perfect. A tendency for you may be to overwork and sometimes overanalyze. You probably won't find satisfaction until a job or task is completed, and even then, your mind will probably be focused on the next project. As a Virgo, you probably know you don't seek easy ways around problems. In January, the transiting sun in your fifth house of joy, creativity, and children will be forming a trine or harmonious aspect to your natal sun and ascendant, or the rising sign. The sun is your spirit, your vitality, and how you shine your light. It is also about healing and purification. The sun is positively supporting your ego, personality, and the way people see you during this time. Also in your fifth house, Venus, Pluto, and Mercury form a stellium in cardinal earth Capricorn to your sun ascendant. Venus represents love, desire, pleasure, attraction, and repulsion, and our relationship to things. Also in your fifth house, Venus, Pluto, and Mercury form a stellium in cardinal earth Capricorn to your sun ascendant. Venus represents love, desire, pleasure, attraction, and repulsion, and our relationship to things. Mercury represents your mind and everyday thinking. Pluto represents what is hidden, secrets, change, and evolution. The fifth house represents your children, creativity, betting, gambling, and love affairs. You may find yourself attracted to someone who sparks a secret affair. This could also be a secret, creative project you embark upon. You may learn some deep things about your children that surprises you. Venus, Pluto, and Mercury form a harmonious aspect to your natal sun and rising sign. So whatever the secretive attraction that lures your mind during this time is supporting your sense of self, your personality, and your life mission. You may be undergoing a long transformation in your house of joy and creativity. Finding new fields of enjoyment are significant and life-supporting. This is occurring in the last 10 degrees of Capricorn in the keyword idealism. Idealism symbolizes having the natural ability to grasp the ideal and express it. It represents hard work and intensive labor, using your talents and abilities to develop and execute plans of your own. Ideas come from an unknown or inner source such as your intuition or a realm beyond your physical perception. You may be attracted to learning about the occult and esoteric because Pluto, Venus, and Mercury show attraction and mental attention to the secretive and hidden. Occultism's wisdom and knowledge is buried deep within symbology, which is written with secretive meaning. Or you may enjoy discovering secrets in nature and going through a healing process through your connection with nature. Being out in the trees, around water and animals is very therapeutic. The end of February and the early part of March, Mars conjuncts Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. Mercury has moved out of Capricorn and no longer in a stellium with Pluto and Venus. Venus and Mars are the two cosmic lovers in astrology. Venus represents feminine qualities expressed as love, desire, and attraction. Mars represents masculine qualities such as anger, aggression, willpower, ambition, and war. The two combined with Pluto will have a powerful effect upon you. Mars, Venus, Pluto trine your natal sun and rising sign. You may be ego-driven to succeed in making major changes in your appearance. This is about using your power and getting satisfaction out of it. Being in idealism, you want to propel into action your ideas in a physical way to manifest something that is your own. Watch out for tendencies of violent outbursts during this 2-week period. Mars conjunct Pluto can come with consequences if you're not careful. April through June. April 11th, Jupiter, Neptune form an exact conjunction in fixed air Aquarius in your 7th house of marriage and partnerships, which opposes your natal sun ascendant. Neptune represents illusion, delusion, sensitivity, imagination, spirituality, and dissolving boundaries. Jupiter represents optimism, growth, expansion, abundance, excess, and the bigger picture. Neptune takes 165 years to traverse the zodiac and is in the third or spiritual decanate of its home sign of Pisces. This is very important because this will be the only time in your life Neptune will be in this position. Jupiter will magnify or make bigger the spiritual and emotional field. This will bring you either an overwhelming emotional experience, a spiritual one, or both. Neptune's high vibrational frequency also manifests as illusion, delusion, disillusionment, confusion, and dreams. This is happening in your house of marriage and partnership. If you have been feeling confused or disillusioned about your marriage or partnership, you will become more confused. Your ego and sense of self-identity may be at odds with what you want versus what your partner wants. However, this could be a time of great spiritual expansion for you in the realm of partnership. You're learning important lessons that allow your ego and personality to merge from self-identifying to cooperating with another person's wants, needs, and desires. May 19th, Mars forms an exact conjunction with Neptune. This may cause you to feel irritable and have strange feelings without really knowing why. Don't take these feelings seriously. The planetary energies are at odds with one another. Neptune is ego-denying, while Mars is egotistical in nature. This transit may cause you to feel discouraged and have feelings that you are incapable of doing anything useful. This is a good time to be doing selfless activities that involve helping others. Examples are charity work, volunteering, helping people in institutions such as hospitals, prisons, and substance abuse facilities. Your charity work should be of a spiritual nature. If you're volunteering out of ego, Neptune will deny the ego what it wants. In your 7th house of marriage and partnership, the same principles apply. However, emotionally, you may overexhaust yourself. Taking care of yourself is important so you don't become sick. This transit is short-lived, only lasting 10 days to 2 weeks, but may prove to be significant for you this year. Saturn in fixed air Aquarius in your 6th house of work, service, and health is in the keyword repression. Repression isn't about being repressed, but about becoming unrepressed. However, Saturn is the planet of repression. Mars conjuncts Saturn the last week of March, becoming exact on April 6th and lasting until mid-April, when Mars changes signs and moves into Pisces. Mars is action, aggression, anger, drive, courage, willpower, and war. Saturn is maturity, rules, laws, boundaries, and the government. Saturn in Aquarius has been fixated on stifling our ability to communicate and socialize. This has been done in governments around the world, as well as through big tech censorship. Suppression of socializing and communicating is said to be for your own safety. Saturn in this area of the zodiac is saying the government and tech companies are only allowed to tell you what to believe, what you can talk about, and for a Virgo, who you can work for. Saturn in your 6th house is imposing rules and regulations that you must obey in order to keep your job, especially if you're a government employee. Mars wants to fight, and assert itself in communicating and socializing during this time. Mars is like a gas pedal, and Saturn is like the brake pedal. You'll be frustrated even more with the situation at your job during this time. Another form of expression here could be diligently working with the law to get yourself unrepressed. You may be fighting for your rights against your employer. You'll be frustrated even more with the situation at your job during this time. Another form of expression here could be diligently working with the law to get yourself unrepressed. You may be fighting for your rights against your employer. Uranus is in fixed Earth Taurus and the keyword struggle. Uranus is the planetary ruler of Aquarius and represents freedom, liberation, and independence. Uranus is enlightened thinking and in your house of legal affairs, higher education, religion, philosophy, and long trips. Struggle is the combat for physical and mental supremacy. It's the conflict going on between physical and mental forces where you have them focused. Uranus in the 9th house can mean getting a higher education. If you have a higher education, this transit may mean delving into studies that will enlighten you to getting out of Saturn's repression. Since Uranus is in the house of religion, a religious exemption may be what you need to be able to work if you've chosen not to follow Saturnian rules. Uranus also represents astrology, so you may find yourself learning about the cosmos during its transit through the 9th house. There's more to say about this, so we'll explore Uranus more later in the year. Saturn squares both the north and south nodes. The north node is your future or where you want to be headed. The south node is your past or where you don't want to be headed. Through life, we go back and forth between the nodes based on our behaviors and where we are in life. The north node is in fixed Earth Taurus in your 9th house in the keyword mastership. The south node is in fixed water Scorpio in your 3rd house in the keyword attainment. Mastership refers to your ability to master your life. A master is someone who has achieved mastership over a particular hobby, job, or task. Mastership also refers to spiritual mastership, where the universe can throw cosmic stuff at them, and because of their state of consciousness, they can handle anything. Using your mastership in whatever field or state of consciousness you are in is being called to fight against Saturn's rules, laws, mandates, and structure, and to help people through your example, which is your religious, philosophical, or spiritual beliefs. You carry your faith in whatever religion or philosophical ideology you believe in. Or if you believe in something else, you carry your faith in that. Whatever your particular belief structure may be, it is your mastership of life through this mechanism of beliefs that you are to be the example for others. Attainment in your 3rd house of communication, writing, teaching, and speaking refers to carrying your soul to the highest summit of physical and mental achievement through these outlets of communication. You may find a person who shares the same values as you and stimulates your ambitions and ideals and inspires you to make a success of life. Attainment in your house of communication is referring to the direction you don't want to be headed, opposing your future in mastership, and squaring Saturn in repression. Is your work or service causing you turmoil? Perhaps the environment in which you work is causing you to become mentally or physically sick. Perhaps the rules and regulations are becoming more severe and demanding. Perhaps your coworkers and bosses stifle your work ethic, point of view, and beliefs. You may feel you can't communicate your beliefs to those you work with or around for fear you'll get fired or laid off. This takes a toll on your physical and mental well-being. Your natal sun and ascendant also square the nodes, so you may find your ego up against resistance. What you thought was your life mission may dawn on you as just a job or a career that no longer holds the importance in your life it once had. You must look to the north node of mastership of your beliefs during this time. Mastership is you being the master of your own life and not following someone else's ideology or beliefs. It's about knowing who you are and finding a new life purpose that fulfills your beliefs as to why you were put on this earth and what you're here to do. July through September. Going back to Uranus. In July, Uranus conjuncts the North Node in Taurus in your ninth house of philosophy, religion, and higher education. Now the North Node has moved into the keyword struggle, which is to attack with mental force obstacles you wish to crumble. Uranus is still trying to break free from Saturn's rules and laws in your sixth house of work, service, and health. If your health is an issue during this time, it may be associated with your nervous system. Typical symptoms are anxiety and depression. You're still trying to find your purpose in life, which may be hard, especially if you're older, and thought you were living your purpose. But things come and go. Sometimes we have to let go of the past in order to make way for new things. Life isn't all about our things and possessions. Life is about the evolution of our soul, our spiritual journey. Mars brings his influence to Uranus towards the end of July, with the exact conjunction occurring on August 2nd, with the influence continuing through mid-August. Mars will propel into action through sheer willpower your ability to change your circumstances. Mars is a fighting planet. Uranus is a social and technological planet. You may find yourself fighting against the resistance to that which is restricting and confining you mentally and physically. Once again, you're standing up for what you believe in and overcoming a fear that you have. The fear may be of a boss or employer or the government. Whatever fear you are fighting, you have to fight and use the knowledge within you to defeat the obstacle in your way. For about a week or more, the Sun Mercury transits your 11th house of friendships and social groups in Cancer in the keyword research. Sun Mercury form a trine to Neptune in Pisces in your 7th house of marriage and partnership in the keyword vicissitudes. Neptune is the planet of spirituality, unity consciousness, divine love, but also confusion, illusion, and disillusionment. Vicissitudes refers to excitement and change. You may look to your spouse for spiritual understanding. Neptune forms an inconjunction to your 1st house of self and ascendant. You may have ego issues that are being dissolved. This can be a tough learning experience. In your marriage, partnership, or business partnership, you may be in an unsatisfactory relationship that isn't working out too well. It is possible to keep the relationship going for years and somehow keep it together. You may be in this for financial reasons or for the sake of your children. Sometimes this transit marks the end of business partnership or marriage. However, if your business or marriage is solid and secure, you can make it through without a breakup. The Sun represents your spirit, vitality, illumination, purification, and healing. Mercury represents your practical mind, your everyday thoughts and thinking patterns. Your friends and social groups may be a big support to you getting your head straight about your life, marriage, and partnership right now. Your feelings about work or your health are in conflict with your friends and social groups. You may find they aren't bothered or suffering from Saturn's rules, laws, and mandates the same way you are. Sun Mercury form a harmonious aspect to the nodes. You may find your friends supporting you in healing your past and supporting decisions you make towards the future. You may learn that different beliefs aren't as important as you once thought. Neptune is teaching you to dissolve the boundaries of your ego, so there is a spiritual lesson going on for you. The lesson may be subtle or drastic depending on your individual chart. However, sometimes the epiphany comes once the transit is over. You may differ on how you see the world. However, helping one another through healing, working through difficult times, and supporting one another is a spiritual lesson you may come to understand. October through December. In October, the Sun, Venus are in cardinal air Libra in your 2nd house of money, possessions, and things you want, in the keyword expiation. Expiation refers to using the brilliancy of your mind to either enslave your fellow man by keeping them in ignorance and poverty so that you may profit by it, or by living a straightforward moral life where you don't fall into corruption. Instead, as you rise in power and influence, you use your abilities to help people. This area of the zodiac pertains to following the laws of man or the laws of God. Are you putting your faith, trust, and belief in a person or in a higher power? Libra is symbolized by the scales, the weighing out of things to find balance. However, the scales are often unbalanced. The representation of the scales shows a soul being weighed against a feather. A feather is light, and a soul carries the impressions from lifetimes of experiences in its consciousness. Therefore, the scales represent judgment. There are lots of ways to interpret this. Will you be judged by a higher power when your life is over? How do you judge others? We are always judging people, ideas, and all kinds of things. Expiation is occurring in your second house. So are you holding on to things you don't need? Are you holding on to ideas about wealth and how you make your money? Venus is your attraction or repulsion to things and your love of things. Currently, the Sun-Venus is in an air grand trine in the best aspect possible to Mars-Moon in your 10th house of career and status, immutable air Gemini in the keyword reason, and also to Saturn in fixed air Aquarius in your 6th house of work, service, and health in the keyword inspiration. Air represents socializing, thought processes, and patterns. Moon Mars represents your emotional battle or fight for your career or status in life through reason. You're communicating your needs and wants to your employer, service, group, or healthcare provider, what exactly you want. Reason is the scientific decanote of thought. It's enlightened thinking. This area of the zodiac is about accomplishing great things through exercising our minds. This is the perfect time to exercise your mind about what you want and need. If you have a health problem, you may need government assistance if you don't have health insurance. Right now, you are being listened to because Saturn is in inspiration. Saturn may dull the shine of your inspiration, but that is to give you the foundation and down-to-earth structure to get your ideas across. If you're a business owner, CEO, or government employee, you need to watch what you are saying and communicating to others. Remember, expiation in Libra is judgment. Are you concerned or worried about who is judging you by what you are doing and saying? Are you listening to orders from someone in a higher position than you? If so, are you carrying out those orders? Are the orders ethical or unethical? Are you using your power and influence to help others or hurt them? Virgo represents the Virgin, meaning purity. Are you finding peace in your heart that you are pure in thought, deed, and action? The choice of what you say and how you act and behave rests solely on you. As a Virgo, you may find you are hard on yourself because you have the purity the Virgin represents built within you, and yet you may find it is hard to uphold those virtues. The end of November, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are in mutable fire Sagittarius in your 4th house of home and family in the keyword exploration. Exploration refers to searching out new things. You may find yourself spending more time at home or with your family, especially during Thanksgiving. However, maybe you're with your family but out exploring new places. The Sun represents your illumination, Venus represents love, and Mercury represents your thinking. You'll probably be enjoying family things and expressing your opinions to them that come from a loving place in your heart. The Sun, Mercury, and Venus form an opposition to Mars and Gemini in your 10th house of career and status in life in the keyword fidelity. Fidelity means loyalty. Mars is ambition, willpower, and drive, so I expect you'll be working on something that you're driven to complete that tries to pull you away from family, but won't ruin your plans to spend time with them. The end of December, the Sun, Venus, Moon, Pluto, and Mercury are all in cardinal Earth Capricorn in your 5th house of children, joy, and creativity. These planets all form an Earth grand trine to your 1st house of self and ascendant, and to Uranus and the North Node in Taurus in your 9th house of religion, philosophy, higher education, and long journeys. An Earth grand trine represents manifestation on the physical plane. The focus of your life during Christmas time will be on having fun and enjoying life. You'll find your life working out very well by the end of the year. Things will just seem to flow. You'll be able to get things accomplished. You may find inspiration through your joy and creativity that sparks excitement in your life. Your personality will shine, and your life purpose may come if you don't yet know what it is. By the end of 2022, you'll be experiencing the joys of life either through your philosophical views, your children, or through your own creative expression. Please subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up if you like this video. To have a personal astrology reading with me, visit astrologywithjeffreybryan.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at astrologywithjeffreybryan or on Getter at Jeffrey Bryan. You can also subscribe to my blog at my website astrologywithjeffreybryan.com, and also various types of meditations can also be found on my website. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.